Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Beyond the Arc podcast. Dallas, as always, joined by Levi and apparently someone else. Levi, what's going on?
Who is that? It's
I
cut off
believe,
like in half.
I believe that is our friend Todd Golden. He's been kind of staring
Is
at
he
me throughout.
creeping?
Yeah, I think he's been creeping some more. He's got back to his old ways. I've tried getting him out of here. He just keeps peeking back through, so I'm sure he'll be just peeking at us this whole entire podcast. It should be
Don't
a
you
big
have a younger sister?
yeah. I should probably lock the
You should let
doors
her
or
know.
yeah, let
Yeah.
her know. Keep the mace and stuff around. But anyway,
Yes.
Levi, how's it going, man?
Good. I'm gonna jump on a rant real quick. I'm tired of Kentucky fans. They're the worst
Go
humans
for it.
on earth. For a month straight, they have done nothing but just absolutely drag Jaden Quinton's name through the mud. He don't want to play. He can't play ball. Now they're saying he may come back for the SEC tournament. Maybe. Who knows? Now they're talking about, oh, he could play this weekend against Florida, against Chinyalu, and that would feed families. Stop. Stop. Just stop. All right. If say Tennessee was to get a guy like Jaden Quintance, I know for sure there would be plenty in our fan base that would drag his name through the mud for what he's going through this year. But I can promise that we would not act the way they are right now. And it is absolutely ridiculous to see that. They're the most up and down fan base I've ever seen in my life. And for some reason, they're all over my For You page. It's probably because I argue with them all the time. But I mean, 3 weeks ago, they wanted to fire Pope. They beat us. Pope's the greatest coach of all time. Then they lose two in a row. It's awful. We got to blow everything up. Then they go and win against Vanderbilt Saturday and move back up to, I think they're the 4 seed in the SEC tournament now and
Mhm.
getting a double bye. And they're acting like they're like, oh, well, we should be a 5 seed. And if Jaden Quintix comes back, that should move us up to a 4. He's worth a whole seed line. Like, stop. It's worse than Tennessee fans. And that's hard to say after the way that they acted over the Bama loss Saturday. I mean, leaving the stadium, you'd have thought that that was it. That was the end of the year. I mean, I heard people saying, well, this team probably won't even win a single game in March. Oh, they'll be lucky to make the tournament. Stop. Just everybody stop. Let's just let's let what you can see we're on the sad Nate watch now. Uh, we went from Nate watch to he's arrived to seeding again, and now we're back to sad boy Nate watch. So we'll hope Nate. I think they said today that it's a high ankle sprain. Never a good thing. You never want it to be high, but if I'm Rick Barnes, I'm sitting him till March. So or actual March. That's my
Yeah,
that's my rant. Sorry,
it's all
had to get it
good.
out of the way
Yeah,
early today.
his availability report came out just about I think like an hour ago, and he was listed as questionable.
Questionable.
Yeah. So anyway, let's jump on into it. I mean, against Missouri, I thought that Barrett just went nuclear down the stretch there. It didn't feel like there was much you could do. I mean, maybe stop, get do your work early and prevent it from getting downhill. But I mean, it was a very touch and go game. I mean, Boswell was not allowed to play defense the way most players are allowed to play defense. It felt like he was limited by the whistle, and it was kind of aggravating. But it was what it was there. It wasn't too frustrating for me. And Alabama, it was frustrating because, yeah, you lost Ament for the second half of the game. And with him, you probably win that game. The coaching staff made a decision to sit him. It wasn't something that he said. Um, but even with that, I think with the defensive intensity, and Levi, you mentioned it on X last night. You and Jordan Moore had a little bit of a conversation, but the
Yeah, it
numbers
bled
can
into this morning, if you want to call it a little bit. I couldn't
the
even go to
num
work today.
the numbers can say what they want, and I understand they say Tennessee's a really good defense, and I think Tennessee's a solid defense, but this is not your average Rick Barnes defense. The average Rick Barnes defense is locking down Kentucky and winning those two games. They're probably beating Kansas, and they probably win that game Saturday, even without Nate Ament in the second half. I don't know if this is an indictment on the whole country defense that Tennessee is up in the top four, or if this is an indictment on the numbers and that the numbers are kind of don't tell the whole story, which I think we all pretty much knew. Levi, is there anything you want to get out of the way about Missouri and Alabama?
I mean, you said it with Barrett is what it is. A kid got hot, and at times a guy's going to get hot. Now I do know that his numbers. If you look at his minutes played, he's increasingly went up. So his numbers are a little skewed. Everybody's like, oh, he only averages 8 points a game. I went back and was like, I got to see, um, like why because he's got skill, man, and he's explosive and he gets downhill quick. And there's not, to be honest, that many great defensive guards in the SEC this year. We kind of went away from that. Like last year, I mean, I felt like I could list off 10 guys that this year, if they were playing, would have been shutting down most of the league. But I went and looked, and like his numbers have just minutes wise have gotten better and better, and he's been effective for them. And is he a 30 points per game type guy? No. But as you stated, Bishop gets the worst whistle in all of college basketball. He's the new Jemai Mashack or Zakai Ziegler or even Jordan Gainey. Gainey was a great defender, regardless of what anybody tells you. But there's nothing you can really say about that Missouri game. It kind of felt like a perfect storm in a way. When you go up 12-2 and then they trickle back in and then they get hot a little bit and then late, I think we actually shot. I think we shot 29%. They shot 22% from three.
Yeah,
They hit too late. It is what it is. They hit them at the right time. We hit them at the wrong time. We hit them early. They hit them late. Things like that happen in basketball. They're the tallest team in the SEC by height, and we passed Felix Okpara. Really, like I love JP to death, but sometimes I feel like he plays like he's 6'6". So that one was a perfect storm. And then Alabama Saturday, once Nate, and it's always I said it to my mom. My mom's a big basketball lady as well. We were there with the family watching the game, and it feels like every time that there was a loose ball on the floor, the Bama players weren't diving at the ball. There was numerous times where they were just colliding into our players' knees and ankles and stuff, and it just felt like the Nate one was kind of like I wouldn't call it a dirty play, but if you've rewatched it at all, it's definitely something to look at. I mean, that guy was not going for the basketball, I'll tell you that. So, and then there was one later in the game where Gillespie got a poked one out, and I think it was the Malott, I think's his last name. I can't remember his
yeah,
name. He's a good player, transfer from St. Mary's, I think. But he dove. I mean, if he'd actually made contact with Gillespie, we would be without Gillespie for the year, and we'd be wondering what the heck happened in that Bama game. Todd Golden's looking at me, but I'm not. I'm not too worried about the two losses. Like, yeah, man, they suck. Like, the committee's going to look at it and be like, well, they went 0-2 that week, and it's a big week. Those are, in my opinion, both tournament teams. Definitely Alabama, and I think Missouri is definitely a tournament team as well. And if we would go 0-2 most weeks, I'd be pretty upset. But the way the Bama game went, I'm just not mad. If we get 25 minutes out of Nate and he gets hurt, we probably win. Because whenever he caught the ball in the paint to start the second half, and I was like, "Go to work, Nate." And he went to work, got a bucket. I was like, "Oh, we're good. Like this is perfectly fine. Nate's healthy. We're good. Like this team can win this game, maybe going away." And then he immediately is subbed out, goes straight back to the locker room, and I was like, "This is probably a loss at this point because I don't care that we're up 8 points. It is what it is." Nate can switch better than most guys as well. He's a great defender. People don't understand the impact that Nate Ament really, truly does have on the game. You lose a guy not only offensively but defensively. He's so long and he's just a freak athlete, man, and he can help. He would have helped a ton late in that game, and then for some reason we had JP Estrella in at the four. But uh, would you rather it be JP Estrella or Jalen Carey, Garden, LeBar, and Phylon? At that point, I guess maybe you could say don't switch everything, but that's what Bama wants. Bama wants you to go under the screen so they get those easy looks at three. And I would rather maybe, I mean, JP got cooked for the go ahead bucket, but he also got clobbered in the face 2 plays before, no call, and they get the ball, and then they tie the game up. So if they call that, which I think would have been their 10th total foul for the entire game, they're in the bonus most of the halves of both sides. And we got 9 total foul calls for the entire game. So it just, I don't know, perfect storm. It is what it is. Let's move on to this next week.
Yeah, I mean, and like you said, moving on to South Carolina, you're going to what may be, are they the worst team in the SEC? Possibly. It's
No, by far.
right there with the LSU, and LSU is probably the second worst if they are not. But if you don't have Nate Mint, I'm kind of worried what this starting lineup could look like because we know in the off season we worked a lot with three bigs. At times we had Cade Phillips at the three, along with Carey and Okpara or um, JP and Okpara. So do we see Jalen Carey, JP Estrella, Felix Okpara on the court at the same time? I hope not. I think if
I don't
Nate
think I
can,
don't think he will.
I don't think you will either, but it's a possibility. And if Nate can't go, I want to see Amari Evans get that start at the three or two, whatever, and move Jake Boswell to the three. Doesn't really matter to me. I'd like to see Amari get the start. I believe it'd be his first career start. I think he's shown a lot physicality wise, and the offense is going to come along. But he's everything you want out of a Rick Barnes player. I'm not going to be. I'm not going to lie. I don't really know much about South Carolina because who wants to sit around and watch one of the worst teams in the country? Let's be honest. All I know is Lamont Paris is probably on his final year, and that's about it. So, Levi, you got anything to add for South Carolina before we move on to Vanderbilt this weekend?
I feel bad for Lamont Paris
Yeah,
because I mean he had them. They beat us down there 2 years ago with Dalton Connect. They share the title for the SEC, so he obviously can coach. I don't know that he can recruit because I mean he did that with was that Frank Martin's players.
yeah, yeah.
So at times a guy can get hot with other people's players, um, and that's just
I think
part of
Todd
life.
Golden's invaded Levi's house as well.
Yeah, I don't know what she's doing in there. She just got home from work and she's like crashing stuff, but uh, could be him. That'd be bad. It'd be real weird if he could get in here. But I just feel bad for Lamar. I think he's a heck of a coach, man. Like, I would love to have him on staff. If they fire him at South Carolina, bring him on. I don't care. Get rid of somebody. So, or if somebody leaves, I don't know. But just bring Lamont on. I mean, he's a heck of a coach, in my opinion. I think he's a great basketball coach, and his system is good. He's at South Carolina, and I know they don't give a crap about basketball, to be 100% honest.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
he,
go ahead.
I just there's not really much to say for this game other than the fact that we should win. But it is
Yeah,
at South Carolina. I've seen crazier shit happen.
yeah. I mean, I would hope Tennessee can pull out that win at South Carolina. But moving on to like you said, Vanderbilt. This is the game that I feel like if you don't have Nate Mint, you would definitely feel it. It could possibly get ugly. I mean, because Vanderbilt's going to want to get their leg back, and without Ament, you have one less shot creator out there on the floor. If Ament can play in a limited role, I think you could keep it close enough to pull it out at the end. Overwhelmingly, though, I'm going to say Tennessee goes 2-0 this week, but I also say they go 2-0 last week, and we know what happened there. It's if we could have the performance we got out of Jalen Carey on against Alabama, which credit Jalen Carey and the detractors, they said Jalen Carey couldn't play in the SEC, and he had a pretty damn good game against Alabama. I mean, a few of those rebounds did kind of just fall into his lap. It seems to happen to
It's
him a
just part of
lot,
being
but
big, brother.
yeah, I was gonna say it's part of being big and being in the right spot at the right time. So give me 2-0 this week, and let's finish the season off, the regular season, off on a bang and get ready for March. I mean, personally, I think you've said it before too. I could not care less about the SEC tournament. I mean, get a win or two under your belt, kind of keep your legs warm, and then get it ready for the NCAA tournament. And you're looking to be possibly a 5, maybe a 4 seed, and just see where the chips fall. Levi, you got anything to add about Vanderbilt before we move on?
Without Nate, I don't expect us to win that basketball game. Uh, for some reason, everybody and their mom can shoot well in Thompson Bowling Arena. It's been that way since I was a kid. For some reason, it's just, I guess it's a shooter's gym. Um, but Vandy did get their butts whooped by Kentucky at Kentucky. The crowd made a huge difference. You can tell Vanderbilt's not the same team away from home as they are
No.
at home. So if the crowd's fired up, ready for senior day, we need to get out. We need to support guys like Felix Okpara, who, he's only been here 2 years, but he's been one of the best centers in the Rick Barnes era, maybe the best center we've had since Wayne Chisholm, possibly. So, I think we need to get out there, and hopefully the crowd will be, pretty excited, pretty hyped up for what should be, in my opinion, with Nate. I'll take Tennessee 2-0 this week. Without Nate, I hope they don't play Nate. I would, if
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
with an ankle sprain, don't even worry about it. Let's like all that matters is March, man, and a healthy and refreshed, ready to go Nate that isn't battling rib problems where he got beat to crap against a certain team a couple weeks ago and things like that. We get to March. We know that the refs protect the big names in March, and we've seen it far too many times.
Yeah, and with that being
So
said, let's move on to our college basketball pick'ems. Last week I went 5-0. Levi, you went 4-1. You went with Arkansas, and they got their
give me
absolute.
a minute. Give me a minute. I need a minute.
Okay. Well, I guess I could sit here and talk to myself as we are waiting for Levi to get back. You know, I think that once again, Alabama did not score 80 points or over against Tennessee. I think that's a very, very good sign that Tennessee's defense was able to do once again to Alabama what it's done to them under an Nate Oates for a while. I mean, yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I'm just trying to kill time here until Levi gets back. May have to wind up just cutting this out completely of the podcast because I am just rambling and making absolute zero sense. We'll leave it just for fun and giggles. Okay, I guess I could do some knock jokes or something here. Let's find something to do. Why don't seagulls fly over the sea? Because then they'd be called bagel. What do you call a sleeping dinosaur? Dinosaur. Dinosaur. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. Why did the pig get suspended from school? He was playing with bacon. That one's kind of teetering on being mature there. I probably should not have said that. How does a bee brush its hair? With a honeycomb. See if we can find some more here. What do you call a magic dog? A labracadabrador. What do you call a pony with a cough? A little horse. What did the pirate say when he turned 80? Hey, matey. Shout out Dylan Corbine for the haircut here. What is an astronaut's favorite part on a computer? The space bar. Why did the yogurt go to the art exhibition? Because it was cultured. What do cows do on date night? Go to the movies. How many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh? 10 tickles. What did the football coach say to the broken vending machine? Give me my quarterback. What did the lettuce say to the celery? Stop stalking me. How did the two cats end their fight? They hissed and made up. I'm really dying here. I'm running out of jokes. What kind of cow wears a crown? A Dairy Queen. Can a horse join the army? No, the Navy.
Okay.
I've just been sitting here saying random jokes. I'm keeping that in the podcast. I looked
Whatever you
up
want
the
to do, man.
I looked up top 100 dad jokes, and I've just been sitting here saying them all. All right, so moving on to our college basketball pick'ems. Last week I went 5-0. Levi, you went 4-1. That Arkansas team got you. This week
They've
we
got me
have
all year.
this week we have three games. Starting off with Iowa State at Arizona. Arizona's continuing to look like a machine. Iowa State too, though. I mean, Otzelberger is absolutely coaching them boys like his life depends on it. I've got to go with Arizona though. It's at their home court. Give me the Wildcats. Levi, who do you have?
Yeah, we were talking about it at work. A guy was like, "Hey, man, Iowa State's 7.5 point underdogs tonight. That's a huge number." And I was like, "It's at Arizona, right?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, give me Arizona." So if it was in Ames, I'd be all over
Yeah.
the 7.5 for sure.
All right. Moving on to Louisville at Miami. I picked this game mostly because there wasn't too many other games to pick, and because I wanted to talk a little bit about Miami and Ja Lucas. Ja Lucas says you said it, Levi. Rick Barnes taught him well. He's
Mhm.
basically a carbon copy of Rick Barnes when you hear him speak. I mean, he's just go rebound the ball. That's all that matters. We don't worry about offense later. We need to tighten up on defense. And he's really turned that Miami program around in just 1 year, really, after Larinaga had to step away. I really like the job he's doing, and if anyone's listening, he should be on the short list for the day when the day comes that Rick Barnes decides to hang it up. Give me Miami, by the way. Here, I think Louisville has struggled a little bit, and Miami's going to pull out the win at home. Levi, who do you have?
Taking Louisville against Louisville on the road too many times, so I'm going to take Louisville. I don't know why, but it just feels like the smart thing to do. Finally, switch it up.
Sounds good. And then this one could be a blowout if Caleb Wilson is not back. But North Carolina at Duke, if Caleb Wilson is back, and he's expected to be, I do believe. Like I say, it being a little bit closer than it probably should be in Cameron, but I still think Duke ultimately pulls it out. And I wouldn't surprise me at all if these two teams meet again in the ACC tournament. Levi, who do you have?
Yeah, Duke, 100%.
Right. All right. And now moving on to our hardly known hoopers. I'm not gonna lie, I've done this one last minute because I kind of forgot. But my hardly
I,
known
I don't
hooper,
have one, so I don't have one this week. To be honest, man, I didn't have time. So
that's we both messed up there. So moving on to my hardly known hooper is Roman Damon from down here in Murray State, which is, by the way, side note, why in the hell is it called Murray State when it's in Kentucky?
I have no idea. Is it
There's,
in Murray County or something?
I think it's Moorhead where it's at. Not 100% sure. The same thing with Moorhead State. I mean, makes no sense to me. It never has. But anyway, he's a 6'9" freshman. He's absolutely exploded over the past few games with an increased role. Over his last 10 games, he's averaging 16 points and 5 rebounds. On 60% true shooting, he's a very crafty shot maker of forward with guard like skills, which almost every 6'9" guy and above has became lately. Just an incredible player and someone who I think if he sticks around in Murray State could be another Ja Morant type. Hopefully he just doesn't go to what Ja wants to do and he doesn't become a gang member, hopefully. All right. Moving on now to what you want to talk
It
about.
depends on if he gets drafted by Memphis or not.
Yeah, or Chicago probably don't want to go to Chicago either. I've actually spent some time around Murray State's campus, I do believe, and I don't remember it being too gang friendly. But
I
anyway,
mean, do you not remember the videos of John Morant when he was in like high school? Like the kid had a full court in his backyard pool.
yeah,
Like
yeah, it's crazy. But
that's
moving
a
on,
that's a wild one.
yeah, moving on to what you want to talk about today. We got two topics, pretty quick. Let me share my screen real quick if I can remember how to do that. I don't think I need sound this time, so well, I might actually. I'll share that anyway. Yeah, it ain't got no password in it.
Old
There's
school
top.
RuneScape.
Hell yeah. Where is that browser? I'm gonna be very upset if that did not save. And that did not save.
What
Okay.
was it?
So we're fixing to find out. Let's go pull up the bookmark.
Careful with them bookmarks.
There's nothing in there. This is the I keep all that stuff on the burner.
There you go.
I don't have a burner. Wink wink.
Yeah, everybody's got one. I'm probably arguing with you half the time.
It actually was not a bad idea. Okay,
Nah,
this
I ain't
is
arguing with you. I already
I
argued
don't
with you enough.
I don't think son of a bitch.
You didn't even bookmark it.
No, I did not. Uh Let me scroll.
I would like 100 pieces of checks. Why not? What
Okay,
the heck's
here we
going
go.
on in here, dude?
Here we go.
Oh, this
One's
is
got to
easy.
go. Mini breadstick, rye chip, square pretzel, corn checks, wheat checks, circle pretzel. Personally, I'm going with the circle pretzel. Why do we need two types of pretzels? It makes no sense. And that one kind of looks suggestive, is probably the right word for it. So I'm going to get rid of the circle pretzel, Levi. I'm guessing you're getting rid of the circle pretzel as well.
I don't even like pretzels, to be honest, but the square pretzel's pretty good. It traps enough of the seasoning that gets in there.
Yeah,
But my top three there are uh, the the rye chip and the two little uh, chessboard thingies and jigs looking things.
I agree. So now the next and
Breadstick's not
final,
bad either.
the final topic I had chosen for the day, which was cleared out. Have you heard about this going on in Jackson County, Tennessee?
No, but it'll be infiltrated by the FBI and shut down pretty quickly, more than likely.
Yeah, it's what I'm thinking. The article is from 2025, Rolling Stone, which bullshit, but support journalism. Yeah, right. Um, anyway, it's basically saying that there's a town that's been bought up by these by I think it was a pastor that bought it up and is moving a bunch of people in there and they're basically
I've
not
heard
paying
about
tax.
this.
Yeah, they're not paying taxes and all that stuff and they've actually they don't they don't let women work. They don't let women vote. Somehow, I don't know how they are able to get around that, but I guess it's a religious, so they're able to get by with some stuff like the Amish and stuff don't pay taxes because of religious reasons. It's just it's absolutely insane and definitely something we're probably going to see a documentary about in 10 to 15 years. Hopefully, we don't get another Waco, Texas situation on our hands. I don't know if you have ever looked into that too much, Levi. Waco, Texas. I can't remember the name of the guy that
I know
ended
way
up
too much
involved in
about
all.
that.
Yeah, but what was his name?
David,
It was David. Drive me insane. I'm gonna have to Google it.
yeah,
Waco, Texas. David Kirsch.
yeah.
Yeah, but
No,
anyway,
they're apparently Waco, Texas is known for Chip and Joanna gangs.
yeah. Which
That's
actually
definitely the truth, right?
I said David Kirsch. That's a country singer. I meant Cole Rush. But anyway, with that being said, that's it for this week's episode of Beyond the Arc podcast. I'm gonna have to go in here and delete my iCloud email from the podcast and maybe delete. I'm keeping the dad joke part. That was pretty brutal and embarrassing, so we have to keep that. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll be back next week, hopefully with some good news, good wins, whatever. Thanks for listening, and go Vols.
Go Vols, man. Bye, Todd Cole.